Hello, welcome to WWE Network Review, if I'm not mistaken. And I was going to talk real quick about Great American Bash 96. First match was Fire and Ice, which is comprised of Scott Norton and Ice Train, beat the Steiner Brothers. They lost to the Steiner Brothers when Scott Steiner hit the standing Frankensteiner on Scott Norton. Conan beat El Gato to keep the U.S. Heavyweight title. Diamond Dallas Page beat Marcus Alexander Bagwell to keep the Lord of the Ring ring that he won at Battle Bowl. Dean Malenko beat Rey Mysterio Jr. to keep the Cruiserweight title. Big Bubba Rogers defeated John Tenta. No, once again I made a mistake. John Tenta defeated Big Bubba. And because Jimmy Hart had his back turned to him, he thought that Big Bubba won, so he got in the ring with the scissors. So John took the scissors from Jimmy Hart and cut a little bit off of, I believe Big Bubba had a goatee, so he cut a little bit off of Big Bubba's goatee. So the next match was Falls Count Anywhere match where Kevin Sullivan went against Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit beat Kevin Sullivan with a superplex off of a table that was on top of a turnbuckle. What was really interesting was, up to this point, Sullivan and Arn Anderson had been supposedly on the same side, to the point that you didn't know which side Arn was going to be in. Well, made his intentions clear by assaulting Kevin Sullivan. And he said that what Chris Benoit went through that night made Chris Benoit earn his stripes. Then Lord Steven Regal in the next match lost to Sting when he submitted Scorpion Deathlock. Then Ric Flair and Arn Anderson beat Steve McMichael and Kevin Green when after Steve McMichael's wife Deborah handed him the Halliburton briefcase with money and a Horseman shirt, he let the greed get to him and he took the Halliburton briefcase and hit Kevin Green over the back of the neck with it, knocked him out. Ric Flair made the cover, won the match. So he officially, after a few minutes, took the Horseman shirt, put the shirt on, and he's officially a Horseman. What I remember, I just watched this full length for the first time in a few years, and I was watching it on the WWE Network, of course, and what I found out about it is that they cut out the beginning of the pay-per-view, as I recall, was very hilarious. They had started the show off by maybe it was on the kickoff show that I'm thinking of. They had Macho Man say to the men, "Men, our opponents have 3 women with them: Miss Elizabeth, woman, and Mrs. Bobby Heenan." That was the funniest thing I'd ever seen before at that point in time. Paying more attention to WCW than in the WWF in those days, I actually didn't think at all about Dustin's character at the time, but now that I think about it, I'm not sure if that was really a smart thing to say on Randy Savage's part because of the competition, having a character that you didn't know what to make of him. So even though it was funny, looking back at it, I'm not sure if they really stopped and thought about it. Okay. Next night on Nitro, I really remember that. What I remember more than anything, we were in town doing something, so all I could really remember. Oh, I'm sorry. The main event, the Giant beat Lex Luger to keep the heavyweight title. So, gonna have to talk about the ratings of this night, because that's what the whole, that's what this whole podcast, that's what makes it so fun, is talk about the ratings. Let's see. I believe this is June 17th. So it is June 17th, 1996. Then Nitro won the ratings in this. So let's see. Stevie Ray, one half of Harlem Heat, went against Rick Steiner. By the way, not Harlem. Great American Bash, forgot to mention this. They did a segment between the Outsiders and and Eric Bischoff. And I believe this is what helped them keep from going to court over what they call gimmick infringement. And I believe this helped them go to court over this. The first thing Bischoff asked him was, "Do you work for the WWF?" And Scott Hall said, "No, let's not worry about the past, let's worry about the present." And he claimed that he couldn't tell them the results, but he would say it to the next night on Nitro. So Scott Hall hit him in the gut with the right hand, and Kevin Nash powerbombed him through a part. It was right by the ramp, and it had Great American Bash name on it. It went right through it, and you could see something was holding the whatever it was up. And I'd say that he did a really good job keeping his head up, because he could have hurt his neck the way he landed. So anyway, I wanted to mention that because this is supposed to be as much about the formation of the NWO and the NWO's influence in WCW. So that's why I'm talking about this also. Okay. Go to the Raw results for 1996. June 17th. Yes, June 17th, alright. Stevie Ray was going against Rick Steiner. Steve Austin defeated Savio Vega to qualify for the King of the Ring quarterfinals. And they said on this website that this is the first time Steve Austin used the stunner. Rick Steiner hit like a running clothesline to Stevie Ray pinned him. And Booker T came out to assault Rick Steiner. I'm pretty sure Scott Steiner's about to come out. Let's see what happens right here. Powerbomb by Stevie Ray to Rick Steiner. Yeah, Scott Steiner's coming out, right? Ooh. Covered his brother's back to be a shield for him, but he still got hit with half of a splash by Booker T. They show the replay of the ending of the match with the advertisers was 1-800-COLLECT. Disco Inferno versus Joe Gomez. Okay, let me just say what happened in the second match of Monday Night Raw. Another King of the Ring quarterfinal match. Mark Miro with Sable defeated Owen Hart. After the match, however, Miro opened the ropes for Owen to leave. Owen hit Miro with the cast on his arm, knock him off the apron to the floor, and then knock him out after a second blow. Let's see I'm pretty sure Gomez beat Disco with the crucifix pin right here. 1, 2, 3. That's exactly what I pinned him with. Disco got overconfident after a neck breaker, and he covered him nonchalantly, and he lost the match altogether. And as I'm seeing this, I'm starting to wonder, why did it take them so long to give him a finisher, let alone a version of the stunner? Anyway, that's good to look back at just for history's sake. The next match was a tag team match with the Horsemen versus American Males. Arn Anderson and Chris Benoit against Bagwell and Riggs. Okay, Hunter S. Helmsley, while this is happening, Hunter S. Helmsley defeated, actually he and Aldo Montoya wrestled to a no contest when Jerry Lawler attacked Aldo before Helmsley made his entrance. And Jerry Lawler was anxious to show off the tactics he planned to use on the Ultimate Warrior at the King of the Ring. He attacked Aldo before Helmsley even made his entrance, so that's why it was the no contest. However, moments later, after Montoya sustained the pile driver, Jake Roberts came out to make the save. I believe Arn Anderson hit back of Scotty Riggs' neck with the forearm right here. Then draped Scotty Riggs over the ropes, 2, 3. And Arn held on to the left boot of